As y'all may or may not recall, I made a video about this particular show about a year ago, and as you can see right here, I certainly wasn't right in the head. There are too many components that makes Boruto rise in ascent to a level of superiority many shonen fail to even fathom, and putting it side by side with its current competitors, clearly, in every aspect, Boruto takes the goddamn crown, which unfortunately I overlooked in my last review. However, after making that video, it has been brought to my attention that I've possibly could have been wrong. The Boruto stands over here on Twitter really opened my eyes to the world that is Boruto, and what it really is as a shonen, let alone an anime. Displaying to me that is none other than a perfectly layered and constructed cake, sprinkled with a whole lot of good shit. So with me being me, I was like, hey, I need to reevaluate my dinner plan, cause what I said in this video was distasteful. So I brought myself to dive through many episodes, dissecting every single minute of every single episode and finally enlightening myself to the ultimate truth. When Boruto gets brought to the table of discussion, it typically either goes one way or another. Either Boruto is trash, or the f you doing watching the anime, go read the fucking manga. And to these responses, I have nothing but shame for you. What we all need to indulge ourselves in is realizing that Boruto as an anime stands just as well as the manga. If you're gonna disagree with that statement, I'm gonna have to real talk, slapbox your opinion. Sure, slice of life may not be your forte, but hey, once you put that to the side, you really start to acknowledge the depth the writer is trying to portray with each and every episode. Like, Boruto likes burgers, Boruto has a dad, and Boruto doesn't ride inside trains because he's a savage. All details that couldn't have been introduced in a more sensible manner. Now, a major issue many viewers face while watching this stupidly amazing anime is the show's pacing, and I am here to confirm there is good reason behind everything. Having a supersized grandma pace for a show is typically regarded as a negative trait according to the general community, but Boruto as an anime turned a blind eye to that fact, and with rationality pursue this pace as a way to establish its dominance in the shonen category, pushing mediocrity aside. Although we all just sat there burning our hours away watching paint dry, this gave us the ideal opportunity to absorb the vast information in front of us. Because I understand if the show is going at a reasonable pace, we will miss key details and will lose the ability to not fall asleep. Arguably, many say that the arcs written by our Lord and Savior Kishimoto are the few arcs that are watchable, which surprisingly enough I capitalized in my last Boruto review. And now looking back at it, that was completely out of line. Sure, the Sarado Uchiha arc and the Chunin exam arc were great, but everyone and their mama are sleeping on the glorious arcs that Boruto has to offer, like the field trip arc. Nothing like good old fun with your classmates, playing Uno, and having a kendo match on water! On fucking water! What I really enjoyed about this arc in particular is how no story progression was set in motion. And for many avid anime viewers, including myself, we all love filler. Filler really helps fill our hearts with nothing but joy. Just seeing nothing happen, but at the same time, seeing things happen is just the best feeling in the world. And this is the reason why Naruto Shippuden really stood out to me. Because without its fillers, the show is trash. Like, come on now. The fillers, if anything, built Shippuden to what it is today. A semi-masterpiece that comes before Boruto. But going back to the matter at hand, what did this field trip arc accomplish? Well, for starters, we know that Uno exists in the shinobi world, so that is always good, and also that wielding a sword can trigger intense and tremendous PTSD. Another fantastic arc that I would like to bring to your attention is the class rep is actually a crazy bitch arc. Now personally, this is one of my favorites simply because we got hit up with one of the strongest hard resets in anime history, having so much build up, so much plot, just so we can end up at square one, which, don't get me wrong, was a brilliant idea. Having me sit there with my stale bowl of popcorn, watching the story progress, or the quote-unquote story progress, just to get dicked down by the, I'm sorry guys, I know I try to kill you all, but let's be friends again. Which really brought me to believe that Speech 100 is the real deal. Now, putting Boruto and Naruto side by side, comparing the two, we can clearly see the difference here. This is good shit, and this is shit. And this is amazing shit. According to the anime community, many say that Boruto doesn't live up to the expectations that Naruto has delivered. And to those people, you cannot even make that comparison due to the fact that these are two separate series. That's right, two individual series that have no correlation whatsoever, just to make that clear. Even though the setting is in the same world, and we got the main characters lingering in the back, just not relevant, you cannot make that comparison because Boruto is a separate series from Naruto. What you talking about? It's literally in the title. Anyways, another thing that many fellas overlook are the amazing fights in Boruto. Just so goddamn amazing. Just, oh my god. almost nutted right there. The animation for each and every fight, every detail in every frame, the smooth motions of each jutsu, artwork looking like a fat 11 out of 10, and why the fuck are we only showing this fight? It was the only fight in the show that was a complete dog shit. Oh. Well, besides the Momoshiki fight, we got some other cool fights, like this one. Oh, or wait, hold up. Nah, not this one. Let me show you something better. Oh yeah, we found a good one right here. See, this is what Boruto has to offer. Amazing and just gorgeous animation 5% of the time, and as long as you can disregard the other 95%, you're set. Clearly, the studio behind this really knows what they're doing with their budget. If you cannot see that already, you must really be blind to what greatness really is. Come on now, we have fights filled with the immersive, uninteresting dialogue and generic animation that you'll find in your typical lackluster anime adaptation. And to put the icing on the cake, we get treated with delicacies. Once in a blue moon. Like in our recent arc right here, we got animation that's actually acceptable. And now, of course, we're back on some animation that's complete shit. Now moving on from the topic of animation, let's talk about Boruto's amazing character designs once again. Something I've said in my last Boruto review is that many of the characters are just ditto characters from our previous generation. And I believe I was confused back then and didn't see the qualities that made these Boruto characters unique entities with few similarities. Like Inojin, he's Sai but with a Yamanaka ponytail. Shikadai has an all-around unique character design, and Metal Lee's name doesn't sound like broccoli. Each character of this new generation presents us with something special. The worst part about this is that many Naruto fans can't accept this fact. Let's look at Metal Lee for instance. He has social anxiety. It certainly beats what this clown has to offer, am I right now? Shut your ass up. Another character that seemed to have been duplicated in the process of creating Boruto and Naruto Next Generations is Shikamaru. And factually speaking, they handled this great value Shikamaru way better than the original. I'm so shocked that they actually topped Shikamaru's design because of the originality and uniqueness of every aspect of the character. Just, oh my god. If you look at the facts, his IQ is somewhat there in comparison, and he also uses the shadow possession jutsu, which is not a unique trait, but I decided to mention anyways because, let's face it, Shikamaru Jr., you gotta go. Now moving on to the main protagonist of the show, Boruto Uzumaki. And god damn, there is nothing but infinite depth with this character. Depth so deep, I think it's safe to say it's deeper than Cutting's pussy. This man is a straight savage, pulling up all like, yo, I know my dad and grandpa were both Hokage, but fuck that shit. I just want to be Sasuke-kun. And this is a motive I abide to on a daily basis, and I hope it's something that you all follow too. Because a motive like this really strengthens you as a being and allows you to prosper to a level no man has ever obtained. Except for Sasuke, which is getting a girl pregnant without intercourse! But like I said, the depth of Boruto's character is like no other, hitting many key components to a great protagonist that many shonen fail to execute. Like for example, a strong motive, something in our day and age that many modern shonen protagonists just lack. Becoming the god of the new world? Alright. Becoming Wizard King? That's a good one. Becoming Hokage? Get that lame ass excuse of a motive out of my face! Nothing can ever top becoming one with Sasuke. No homo. The only protagonist that can ever compete with Boruto's motive is probably Deku, aka I drown myself in every episode in my goddamn tears, whose goal is to become just like anime Superman, which honestly is a heart-wrenching motive indeed. Now another element to Boruto's character that is quite overlooked by the community is his fighting style, which is very similar to Naruto's, but it's not an exact replica because his Rasengan can be tossed like an egg and hold up, 1 second, what? It disappears in mid-air while maintaining its small and lethal form? Woo! That shit's fire! This is something that Naruto has never accomplished at all. Like, tossing a Rasengan? That never happened, alright? That never happened. But for it to disappear in mid-air like that? Oh my, yo, Boruto over Naruto any day. What more do you want from a main character? Besides the front of his hair looking like 3 goddamn bananas. Something I did mention about a year ago when I was recording my nice little Boruto review, back when I blatantly called it trash without any true interpretation of what true art is. But to summarize what I said, I essentially was optimistic about the future of Boruto once all of the students graduate from the academy, and believed that Boruto as an anime would take a turn for the better. And honestly, I don't know what this past man was thinking. Man sounded like a whole crackhead. Disliking Boruto back then is like disliking vanilla ice cream with green beans, corn, popcorn, ketchup, and a hint of fries and soy sauce. So yeah, That's a straight up sin. But anyways, to answer past Mo's big question, which is, does Boruto get better after they graduate from the academy? Of course, because after that we got the Genin mission arc, which was yeah, and after that, we got the Byakuya gang arc, which was boringly cool. Then we got the tuning exams arc, which lacks Tsunade titties, but that's besides the point of it being good. And then after that, we get the Chocho arc, which was honestly a masterpiece of an arc, really showing us a strong message of true love. And then we are now left with the great value / bootleg Sasuke retrieval arc, and man, this really helped me with my sleep. And sleep is good for you, by the way, so, you know, I'm getting my sleep in there. This shit probably works better than NyQuil, I'm not gonna lie. So to Mo from the past, you're tripping if you had your doubts about Boruto getting good. It was a masterpiece back then, and a masterpiece now. Nothing has changed, except for it abundantly getting better and better after every excruciating episode. Now to those who had that lingering idea of Boruto being trash, I really hope this video cleared all misconceptions pertaining to the anime, because without understanding comes confusion, and with confusion comes distaste, and with distaste comes Boruto. But if you do some simple math here, distaste minus confusion to the second power will equal 6.9, the rating of the show on my anime list. Then multiplying this number by 10 using Mewtwo's 1-2 law, this will get you a very inappropriate number, but bear with me and trust me, we will get answers. So taking this number and add the number of Boruto anime fans, and boom, we get the perfect 100. Then using a little bit of magic here and multiplying it by 0.10, we get 10, which should be your designated rating of Boruto on my anime list after watching this video. Then by converting 10 into Japanese, we get the Japanese kanji Ju, or Ju in hiragana. Then by using Diglett's law of void, we can deduct Ju from Ju, and we're left with nothing but U. And by using Magikarp's law of understanding, which is if U is the only remaining variable within an expression, it automatically converts the variable into the final answer, understanding, without the use of equivalent exchange. So there it is, guys. Understanding is the answer that resolves all your concurrent issues with Boruto. Without understanding, you're just gonna end up like how I was when I recorded this video. So reflect on this video and watch it as many times as you need to corrupt your mind and have a true understanding of what a divine anime from heaven looks like. Even if you cannot manage to do that, just know that the wrong ones in this world are the ones that can't bring themselves to appreciate the true embodiment of a masterpiece. So of course, before I end this video, I would like to thank everyone for watching this video, and would also like to give a shout out to Jacob Kent, Kirby Myers, Mythic Hov, and my other sexy Patreon supporters for supporting this channel through Patreon. So with that all said and done, I wish you all a great day or night whenever you're watching this, and I will see you guys next time. And if you don't watch Boruto after this and get caught up, I'm gonna have to fight you.